The Strangest Secret. As I was searching for something to read, I came across this book. Um, it's a very short read. It's called The Strangest Secret by Nightingale. Nightingale is an American business person. He wrote a lot about personal development, his background. He served in the Marine Corps during the World War II. Um, Went on to become a radio personality, TV personality, and he contributed a lot to the science of personal development in America. So I read some of his writing before, and I was looking to read something again, and I came across his book again. It's called The Strangest Secret. I can definitely share the book link with you, but I encourage you to check it out. If you can Google it, you find it, read it. It's very short read. It's not just few pages. I just want to read something and share with you that I find interesting. So, yeah, let's do it. I will read maybe a portion of it, and then I will comment, and then you tell me what you think, and we'll go from there. So, here we are. Again, the title is The Strangest Secret by Nightingale. He begins with saying that I would like to tell you about the strangest secret in the world. The late Nobel Prize winner Dr. Albert Schweitzer was once asked, "Doctor, what is wrong with men today?" The great doctor was silent for a moment, and then he said, "Men simply don't think." It is about this that I want to talk to you about. We live in the golden age. This is an era that humanity has looked forward to, dreamed of, and worked toward for thousands of years. But since it is here, we pretty well take it for granted. We are fortunate to live in the richest era that ever existed on the face of earth. And there is opportunity all over today for everyone. But what happened? So he's basically saying that in today we live in a society where pretty much everything is available for us. And this book was written back in 1940s, I believe, or 50s. And back then they believed that they have everything available for them. And as we can make a comparison today, so in today's age we have access to information like never before in the history of humankind. With your simple phone, right, you can get access to information that, 5 generations combined couldn't even get their hands on if they live their entire lives. But today, what do? We just use the tool that we have for basic fun stuff or basic, meaningless stuff. We don't usually go deeper than anything that we can just see on the surface. We look at funny videos, we look at funny things, and this is what he's talking about, saying we have worked for so hard to get to the point where men can have access to information, men can have access to technology, but since it's here today, we take it for granted. And this is what is happening even today as we speak. We all are wasting opportunity. But how many hours we spend on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, basically doing much. So this is what he's referring to. He said, let's take 100 individuals who start even at age 25. Do you have any idea what will happen to those men and women by the time they are 65? In this context, he's talking about 100 people in the US back in the day. He said, let's take 100 people who start life at 25. 25 is considered where you finish all your schooling, you're ready to jump in, your working life. So he said, let's take 100 people who start at 25. What will happen to this man by the time they are 65? Meaning, after 40 years of work, what will happen to these people? These 100 people who all start even at the age 25, all believe they are going to be successful. If you ask any one of them, they want to be successful. They will tell you they did. You will notice that they are eager to a life. There is a certain sparkle in their eyes and erectness to their carriage. Life seemed like a pretty interesting adventure for them. And this is common. Like today, you take any young people, every young people at least who start life want to be successful. You talk to them, they are determined, they are very eager to go after things that they want to do. But he's asking, after 40 years, what will happen to these people? And he continued by saying, by the time they are 65, only one will be rich, 4 will be financially independent, 41 will be still working, and 54 will be broke, depending on other for life necessity. Now, think a moment. Out of 100, only 5 make the grade, meaning 1 will be rich, 4 will be financially independent. There he tried to make a difference between being rich and being financially independent. He said only those 5 people will actually make the grade, even though all 100 at the beginning of their life were so determined to be successful. Why do so many fail? That's the question he asked. What happened to the sparkle that were there when they were 25? What has become their dream, their hope, their plan? Why there is such a large disparity between what these people intended to do and what they actually accomplished? And this is a very good question that I want to bring you back to today. When you take 10 people at the beginning of their career, their lives, everybody is very excited to go on in life and become someone and make it happen. But after so many rejection, failure, or this passion kind of fade away, you talk to these people 10 years later, 20 years later, you're going to find out like the motivation that was there at the beginning is long gone. And most people who say they wanted to succeed, they wanted to do something, talk to them 10, 12, 15 years later, these people have lost it, and then they just kind of settle in life. And he's trying to bring awareness to this early enough for everybody who at the beginning is very excited, is very motivated, that hey, this is a long game, this is a long run. Yes, you have all your intention, you want to, but sometimes you need to do certain things so you will find yourself at the end that you actually made it. He went on to say, what is the definition of success? Because he would like to start there, because everybody said, yes, I want to be successful. I want to be successful. Out of these 100 people, everybody said, I want to be successful. But the problem is not everybody have a clear idea about what success is. What is the definition of this success? So he's trying to bring it to our consciousness as early enough that if you define success right, if you define what you really want to do early enough, that will give you a chance to go on and to become successful. He said, when we say about 5% achieve success, we have to define success. Here is the best definition I have been able to find. Success is the progressive realization of worthy idea. So my understanding, or at least my takeaway from this passage is, if you take 100 people, everybody wants to be successful. But the problem is only 5 people out of that 100 have an idea, or at least have a definition of what they want to do to be successful. Having a general idea, say, I want to be successful, is not always something that will carry you over. You have to make sure that you define clearly what success is for you. It is the only way you can find yourself at the end and say, yes, I am successful, or at least I have achieved my goal. And he going on, he said, success is the progressive realization of worthy idea. If someone is working toward a predetermined goal and know where they are going, that person is success. If they are not doing that, they are failure. Let me read again. He said, if someone is working toward a predetermined goal and knows where they are going, that person is a success. Again, there are so many definitions of success, but he's saying if someone knows exactly a predetermined goal, that this is what I want to do, this is who I want to be, this is where I want to go, and is working toward that, that person is a successful person. And it's only when you know that and actively working to go to that direction, then you can gauge your success at the end. And if you are not doing that, he defines it as a failure. Again, success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. He continued to say, Rollo May, the distinguished psychiatrist, wrote in his wonderful book called Man Search for Himself, the opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice, it is conformity. It's very common today that we all conform, right? We see somebody's doing something, sometimes we don't know, we just conform to it. And this is what he's speaking into in this, in the following paragraph. He said, and there you have it, the trouble today. The reason for so many failure is conformity. People acting like everyone else. And we all been there, and sometimes we find a trend, we just follow this trend. We don't really know what is behind it or what the person is doing, but we just like to copy because somebody says so. Or especially with this today where we have so many influencers, like they just start a trend and then before you know everybody's doing it, and we never thought about why are we doing this or what is the reason behind. So he said people just conform is one of the reasons why people fail. There you have it today. The reason why so many fail is conformity. People acting like everyone else without knowing why or without knowing where they are going. Now think of it. Right now in America, he said the book in the context of United States. So he said there are over 40 million people 65 years of age and older, and most of them are broke. And let me point out that this book was written back in the 1940s, 50s, I believe. So he's making a comparison on his time, and we can make the same comparison today. There are a lot of people who older age have nothing else to show for, and he's saying, and most of them are broke. They are dependent on someone else for life necessity. He go on to say, we learn to read by the time we are 7. We learn to make a living by the time we are 25. Often by that time we are not only making a living, we are supporting family. And yet by the time we are 65, we have not learned how to become financial independent in the richest land that is ever known. And the question is why? And he responds, we conform. The trouble is most of us are acting like the wrong percentage of group, like 95%. We copy each other without understanding why. We do things because other people are doing it, our surroundings are doing it, our family members are doing it, or the big saying is, oh, that's how it's always been done, and nobody knows why, but that's how it's been done, and everybody just copy it. He said that's the problem of a success. If you want to be, that's one of the reasons why people don't succeed. And he said, if you want to be a successful person, you have to define something for yourself. Not because somebody else is doing it, not because it's popular, not because it's out there, but you have to decide what it is that you want to do and spend your life pursuing that. Only then you could become successful. He said a survey was made one time that covered a lot of people, working people. These people were asked, why do you work? Why do you get up every morning? He said 19 out of 20 people have no idea. If you press them, they will say, everyone goes to work in the morning, and that's the reason why they do it, because everybody else is doing it. And this problem is also recurrent today. You ask people why they do what they're doing, 9 out of 10, nobody can give you a clear, precise answer. Say, this is the reason why I'm doing this. Usually it's because, oh, well, this is what I found to do, or somebody's doing it, or somebody put me to it. Like, it's hard for people to tell you their own personal reason why they're doing something. And this is what he's trying to warn us against. Say, to be successful, you have to know why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you spending the time you're spending? Why are you using X, Y, and Z? Why are you like you have to be conscious about it? Because otherwise it's a waste of your time, it's a waste of energy that will not bring you any satisfaction at the end, and you can never say that you have been successful. He said, now let's get back to our definition of success. Who succeeds? The only person who succeeds is the person who is progressively realizing their worthy ideal. It is the person who say, I'm going to become this, and begin to work toward that goal. I'm sure there is no comment on this. I read again. The only person who succeeds is the person who is progressively realizing a worthy ideal. It is the person who say, I'm going to become this, and then begin to work toward that goal. I'll tell you who the successful people are. A success is the school teacher who is teaching school because that's what he or she wants to do. A success is a woman who is a wife and a mother because she wanted to become a wife and a mother and is doing a great job at it. A success is the man who runs the corner gas station because that's what his dream was. A success is the entrepreneur who started their own company because that was their dream. That's what they wanted to do. A success is the successful salesperson who wants to become a top-notch salesperson and grow and build with his organization and set forth on the pursuit of that goal. A success is anyone who is pursuing deliberately a predetermined goal because that's what he or she decided to do deliberately. But only 1 out of 20 does that. So that brings my question to you. Are you 1 out of the 20 who determine what you want to do and actively doing it? Or are you just conforming? The issue is conformity. Being like everybody else, do what everybody is doing. People will say, well, Friday, let's go out. Everybody go out. People say, oh, let's go this. Everybody follow through. And nobody is putting any real thought into, okay, it's Friday. Yes, I can go out with my friend, but I can also spend a couple hours to study. I can read something. I can invest in something. I can research information that could be beneficial for me. So, Nightingale lived his time and passed away a long time ago, but his writings still stand. Are you doing something that you have decided on, or are you following the crowd? A successful person is the only one person who determines, say, this is what I want my life to be. This is what I'm going to do this year. This is what I'm going to do this month. This is what I'm going to do this moment. And then push everything off. Say, no, I don't have time for anything else but what I have decided to do. That is why today there are really no competition unless we make it for ourselves. Instead of competing, we all have to do is create. So he went on to say, you have to create competition for yourself, right? And that's the only way you can get ahead. For 20 years, I looked for the key which will determine what will happen to a human being. I wanted to know if there were such a key that would make a future a promise that could foretell to a large extent. Was there a key that would guarantee a person becoming successful if they only knew about it and knew how to use it? Well, there is a such key, and I found it. It's called goal setting. So the other side of being successful is to be able to have goal. And I will go on detail on the next series about this, about what it means to set goals and have goals and the importance of goals and how goals can take you from zero to something and they can make you successful. But for today's reading, I want you to focus on your own definition of success and then ask yourself, am I doing something that I have determined to do, or am I just following the crowd? Okay, you can check out this book. It's on Amazon. is on Google. You can find the PDF version. Just get to it. The Strangest Secret is a very easy read. It's not that long. It's by Ernan Gale. He's an American business person, author, personal development guru. Uh, his writing are very easy to comprehend, and I wish you get something to nourish your mind. Again, I will continue this next time on goal setting, the importance of goal setting. But today, I just wanted to give you a little bit about what it means to be a successful person, what success is, the definition, and the question is, what are you doing to become a successful at the end? Again, until next time, I'll see you. Read something to feed your mind, okay? You can't live on a food that you eat one time a week or a month and expect that you're gonna have energy, or you're gonna be well for the rest of the time. The same way, you can't expect your life to move ahead if you don't have the right information to go on. Until next time, I'll talk to you. Define your success. Define how you're gonna pursue it. Define, who you want to be, what you want to do, and don't conform. Right? Don't conform. If you look around, every successful people is somebody who didn't conform to the system. Right? Unless you don't want to, then it's up to you. But at least know that to be successful, you have to make up your own mind to be exactly what you want to be, who you want to be, where you want to go, and pursue it. Until next time, take care.